Okay, so now let us look at these ECG electrocardiograms. Okay, what is the function of these electrocardiograms and why we need to do this ECG? So ECG basically will tell us that how this wave of excitations, okay, flow through our heart muscle. So we can record it as the electrocardiogram. So the typical electrocardiograms, you can see that we can divide them into three regions here. So the first regions here, second regions, okay, sorry, first regions, second regions, and the third regions, okay. So what are the third regions? If you look at this, first we have the P wave, okay, we term it as a P wave, and then you have the QRS complex. Can you see that? P wave, then QRS complex, and also the T wave. Are you clear? So don't need to worry about the U, but basically you can see that the P wave, QRS complex, and the T wave. Now, what's so important about this? Now, look at this, Look at this. P wave actually represents the atrial depolarization, and the depolarization of atrial will cause the atrium to contract. Are you clear? So anything happen to a P wave basically means that your atrial got problem, cannot contract. Okay, so that's why how we study. So P wave. So P wave represent the wave of excitation sweeping over the atrial wall. Okay, P wave. How about QRS complex? QRS complex represent the wave of excitation in the ventricle wall. Okay, so it will cause the ventricular systole or ventricular depolarization. So when the ventricle depolarize already, then we can have the contractions of the ventricle. So after that, you can see that ventricle repolarization. Repolarization basically means that relaxation now, relaxation. So it will cause the ventricular diastole. Are you clear? Okay, so basically it's the wave of excitation that cause the atrial to depolarize, termed as P wave. So we have QRS complex, which is the wave of excitations that cause the ventricular to depolarize. When depolarized, contraction take place. Always remember, depolarized, it will lead to contractions of the cardiac muscle, and repolarization cause the relaxations. Are you clear? Okay, so in our syllabus, you do not need to actually interpret the ECG in detail. In our syllabus, we just need to know P wave represents the wave of excitation sweeping over the atrial wall, which will cause the atrial systole. QRS complex represents the wave of excitation in the ventricle wall, which will cause the ventricular systole. And the last one, T wave, indicates the recovery of the ventricle wall, okay, or repolarization of ventricle wall, then ventricle actually relax. Okay, so that's why we look at the P, QRS complex, and T wave. We will roughly know what actually happened to the patients. Okay, so I won't be able to explain more. I'm not specialized in the cardio. Okay, I mean the cardiologist. I'm not. Okay, and definitely I won't be able to interpret these electrocardiograms. So in future, when you become the cardiologist, then you will interpret more ECG. Okay, so with this, I have done for these topics already for the ECG. Stop the recording now.